Good morning, dear kids. Today we'll be taking our new chapter, that is fractions. Now fractions, as we know, what do you mean by fraction? Fraction which has a numerator and a denominator. Okay, so that is called as a fraction. If I write 3 upon 7, so that's a fraction. And this a and b should be, the numerator and denominator should be the integers. Okay, so now how we'll classify different types of fractions? One you have decimal fractions. What you mean by decimal fractions? A fraction whose denominator is 10. So we call it as decimal fraction. For example, if I am giving 3 upon 10, we can easily convert this into 0.3. Because there is 1 0, so we will take this as 0.3. So this is called as decimal fraction. When you have vulgar fraction. What do you mean by vulgar fraction? A fraction whose denominator is other than 10. So that will be called as a vulgar fraction. Like we have 3 upon 9. So we have different denominator. We don't have 10. So that is called as vulgar fraction. Then you have proper fraction whose denominator is greater than the numerator. Whose denominator is greater than its numerator. This is called as vulgar fraction. When you have numerator greater than denominator, it is called as improper fraction. In proper fraction, we have denominator greater than the numerator. I'll repeat again. There should not be any confusion. Decimal fraction, the fraction which we convert into decimal, like if we have the denominator as 10, 100, 1000, we can easily convert such kind of fractions into decimal. So such kind of fractions are called as decimal fractions. Then we have vulgar fractions. What do you mean by vulgar fraction? In which the denominator is other than 10, 100, 1000. So that is called as vulgar fraction. Then we have improper fraction in which numerator is greater than denominator. Next we have proper fraction in which numerator is smaller than denominator. Okay. Then we have mixed fraction. What do you mean by mixed fraction? My dear kids, if you have improper fraction and I convert this improper fraction into mixed fraction by dividing 9 by 4, so I'll get 4 2s are 8 and my remainder is 1. So how I will write this? I'll write 2 1 by 4. 2 1 by 4. So this is what we have converted our improper fraction into mixed fraction. We'll study in depth about all these fractions. So you don't have to worry what these fractions are all about. You have to just keep it in mind in short. Okay. Then I'll be giving you something known as equivalent fraction. What you mean by equivalent fraction, my dear kids? Suppose मैं आपको दे रही हूँ 1 upon 2 और इसके equal कोई fraction बनाना है, तो what you can do is you can multiply with 2, so 2 upon 4. So 2 upon 4 is equivalent to 1 upon 2. You can also do by multiplying with 3, so it will be 3 upon 6. So 3 upon 6 is equivalent to 1 upon 2. Likewise, you can make n number of equations which are n number of fractions which are equal to the previous fraction. Okay, so those will be called as equivalent fractions. Okay, now what are like fractions? Like fractions means if you have same denominator, if this is 6, here is 5, here is 4, these will be called as like fractions. So fractions having same denominators are called as like fractions. What do you mean by unlike fractions? Unlike fractions are fractions having different denominator. Like here is 4, here is 5. So this will be called as unlike fractions. Okay. So slowly and gradually we'll learn about all these fractions and their problems. Okay. Shall we start our exercise number 1? 3A exercise, question number 1. It says classify each of the following as given below as decimal or vulgar or proper or improper fraction or mixed fraction. So you have to look at the fraction and decide how it is. Just say for example your first fraction is 3 upon 5. So what is 3 upon 5? As I said you, when your numerator is smaller than the denominator, we call such kind of fractions as proper fractions. And all proper fractions are also vulgar fractions. Why vulgar fraction? Because they have denominator other than 10. So you can write this fraction is vulgar as well as proper. Next, we have 11 upon 10. As you can say down it is 10, you can say it is a decimal fraction. And my dear kids, as the numerator is greater than the denominator, it is also called as improper fraction. So here you can write decimal fraction as well as improper fraction. Clear? Number 3, we have 13 upon 20. Again, it's a proper fraction. Okay, and here my dear kids, if you want, you can convert this 13 upon 2 into 10. So it can be decimal fraction also. 20 को 2 into 10 कर दिया तो 10 आ गया ना, तो decimal fraction भी बन सकता है. Fourth, we have 18 upon 7. It is improper fraction because the numerator is greater. Then you have 3 2 by 9. This is called as mixed fraction. Then you have 19 upon 10 raised to 3. My dear kids, what do you mean by 10 raised to 3? It is 1000. So anything I said you in the denominator, if you have 10, 100, 1000, then such kind of fraction will be called as decimal fraction. Number 7, we have 2 7 by 10. As we can see, it is a mixed fraction. Number 8, as I said you, 23 upon 500. We can also call it as proper fraction. And you can also make it 5 into 100. So you can call it as decimal fraction. Is the point clear? Yes. Problem number 9. Sorry, we don't have 9. Question number 2. Question number 2 says you have to express each improper fraction as mixed fraction. So improper fraction where the numerator will be greater than the denominator so that you can divide and get your mixed fraction. So you have to convert improper fraction into mixed fraction. Number 1, 18 upon 5. As I said you have to divide 18 by 5. 5 3s are 15 and 3 is remaining. How to write? You have to write this as the whole number and this as 3 upon 5 fraction. So what is the answer of 18 upon 5? It's 3 3 by 5. Similarly, you have to do 7 upon 4, 25 upon 6, 38 upon 5 and 22 upon 5. Every time you have to divide and check. I'll jump on to question number 3, which says express each as improper fraction. My dear kids, abhi jo humne kiya, we were doing improper into mixed. Now I'll be giving you mixed and you have to convert into improper. How you will do it? You have to multiply 9 into 2 plus you have to take this 4 as addition and down will be the same denominator 9. So it will be 9 2s are 18 plus 4 upon 9, that will be 22 upon 9. So you have converted 4 by 9 into a mixed into improper fraction 22 upon 9. I'll do one more and that's second 7 5 by 13. So you have to multiply 7 into 13 and add your 5 upon the denominator same, that is 13. When you add this you will get 96 upon 13. Clear my dear kids? You have to do same 3 1 by 4, 2 5 by 48 and then you have 12 7 by 11. Clear? So you will multiply first, add and the denominator will be same, that is 4. In this case the denominator is 4, this is 48, this is 11. I'll jump on to question number 4, which says reduce to the lowest term. Reduce the fraction. What you mean by reduce the fraction? If I have 8 upon 18 and I want to reduce it, what I'll do is I'll take the least possible value and divide it. Like 8 and 18 can go in table of 2. So I'll divide both by 2. I'll get 4 upon 9. And 4 upon 9 cannot further go in the same common table. So I'll keep the answer as it is. Problem number 2 says 27 upon 36. And I know it goes in table of 9, both of them. So it will be 3 upon 4. Clear? And third we have 18 upon 42. You can go for 6. They both come in table of 6. The answer will be 3 upon 7. Similarly, you have to do 35 upon 75. 18 upon 45. Clear? Next we have question number 5 that says true or false. And we have 30 upon 40 and 12 upon 16 are equivalent. My dear kids, you have to reduce both of them and see whether the fraction is coming same or not. If I just eliminate the 0, my answer here will be 3 upon 4. What about this? 12 upon 16. If I go with the table of 2, I'll get it. If I go with the table of 2, I'll get it divide by 2, I'll get 6 upon 8. I can further go with the table of 2 and I'll get 3 upon 4. So you can see that when I reduce this fraction, I got this 3 upon 4, and when I reduce 12 upon 16, I also got 3 upon 4. So in both the cases 3 upon 4, so you can write the first true or false as true. Second, 10 upon 25 and 25 upon 10 are equivalent. So you have to reduce this and see whether they are equivalent or not. When I reduce this 10 upon 25, I divide by 5 on both the sides so that my answer comes 2 upon 5. But when it is another fraction 25 upon 10 and I divide with 5 on both the sides, I get 5 upon 2, and 2 upon 5 and 5 upon 2 are not equal. So we will write no, they are not equivalent. So it is false. The statement is false. Clear? Are you getting my point clear? Third, we have 35 upon 49, 20 upon 28, 45 upon 63 and 100 upon 140 are equivalent. You have to reduce them all. And after reducing, if you get all of them as equal, you will write yes, this statement is true. Shall I help it out? Yes, you can divide this by 7 and you will get 5 upon 7. You can divide this by 4 and you will get 5 upon 7. You can again divide this by 9 and you will get 5 upon 7. And you can again divide this by 20 and you will get 5 upon 7. And you notice that all the fractions are same. So you will say yes, they are equivalent fractions. Shall we jump on to next? Question number 6. Question number 6 says, distinguish each of the fraction given below as simple and complex. What do you mean by complex? Complex is when you have some very complicated numbers, some mixed fractions are there. So that kind of equations will be called as complex equations or complex fractions. But if I give you suppose 0 upon 8. 0 upon 8 will be a simple fraction. It is very simple fraction. Then I give you minus 3 upon minus 8. Again, it is very simple fraction because it consists of a normal integer numerator and normal integer denominator. So it is very simple fraction. Again, if I give you 5 upon minus 7, my dear kids, it is also simple fraction because you have a normal integer numerator and normal integer denominator. But if I give you 3 by 5 and 18, it will be called as complex. Why complex fraction? Because you can see there's a mixed number, mixed fraction as your numerator and an integer as a denominator. So ये complex बन जाता है. Next is minus 6 upon 2 by 5. So here you have denominator which is very complex. It consists of a mixed fraction. So it will be called as complex fraction. Next we have 3 1 by 3 and 7 2 by 7. Again this will be your complex fraction. Then we have 7th as minus 5 2 by 9 and 5. It is a complex fraction. My dear kids, hope you understand what is meaning of complex fraction. Wherever there are some mixed fractions involved into the normal fraction, it will be called as a complex because it is actually increasing the complexity of your problem. So such kind of fractions are called as complex fractions. Problem number 8, minus 5 2 by 9. Okay, I have done this. Next is problem number 8, which says minus 8 upon 0. My dear kids, the denominator 0, this fraction will neither be called as simple, nor it will be complex. So neither simple nor complex. Why? Because whenever you have something divided by 0, such kind of fractions are called as undefined numbers. So they are neither complex nor simple. Clear? This completes your exercise 3A. I hope you have understood, and if you have any doubt, you can message me very freely. Okay? God bless.